Hello, my name is Nerea I'm 17 years old and I'm from Spain. Hello everyone, welcome to Nerea San Channel. So in this week's video, I'm going to tell you my experience at the Prix de Lausanne ballet competition. I'm going to tell you why I decided to apply, the days of the competition, how it worked, and my final feelings about the competition. So let's get started. This ballet competition became very popular because through that competition, young dancers had the opportunity to get scholarships to very famous schools and get apprentice contracts with ballet companies. So that's why it became really famous. For you to understand how prestigious it is, so in my year 2015, they had 300 applicants, people who sent their materials, and only 75 candidates were selected. That's why it's very exclusive. This year in 2020, they will have 84 candidates. The candidates are from all over the world. This year's applicants, 12 are from Japan, and Australia also 12, US 10, China 9, South Korea 8. Those are the top countries, and from Spain 1. It's very interesting because when I went, I was also the only one from Spain participating. And I remember a year before, one of my friends also participated and he was the only one from Spain. So it's very interesting that usually from Spain, not many people get selected or not many people apply. But the top countries usually are, when I went, I think South Korea, Australia, US, and Japan. So the level of the competition is really high because these candidates, even though they are from Japan, they train in very famous schools from America or Europe. So they are very well trained and very skilled. Also the jury, the people who judge, they are directors from the most prestigious ballet schools, or they were prize winners in their year, or they are very famous teachers or ballet masters. So this was my introduction about the competition. Now let's get to my experience, and here I'm gonna tell you from the beginning to the last days how it went. Yes, so probably this is one of the hardest videos I've done so far because it's really hard for me to express in words emotions and all the details. Maybe one of you guys in the future wants to apply for this ballet competition. So here I'm gonna share my experience with you and you can have a better idea of this competition. I wanted to participate at this ballet competition because for me, first of all, it was a dream. So I want to say that when I first thought about this competition, I honestly didn't think I was gonna get in. I thought, oh, maybe why not to try? Wanna see if I am qualified or not. So I didn't go to already thinking, okay, I'm gonna get in, I wanna participate very seriously. No, I just thought it would be one of my dreams come true. So that's why I decided to participate. And usually people either participate when they are very young to get scholarships to join better professional ballet schools, or they join this competition when they are like maybe 17, 18, 19 in order to get contracts for companies. So in my case, I was 17. I was still studying at the Bolshoi Ballet Academy, and I had just 1 year to get the diploma. So I really thought, okay, if I get a contract from a company, I want to join it because that's already like a good track in order to be a professional ballerina. But I also knew that if I get scholarships to another schools, I may think about it because I only had 1 year to get the diploma, right? So after spending 4 years at the Bolshoi Ballet Academy, I thought, I'd rather finish this than join something new. But I still had that possibility. I wasn't 100% sure what I was gonna do. So this is why I joined it. First of all, for my dream to come true, and also to see the possibilities if I was ready for a company or not, or I should stay and keep studying. Yes. In my year, we had the option of video auditioning. I think this is the most common, or it was the most common. So I had to send my ballet class filmed, also a ballet solo classwork. Yes, center classwork on point shoes. This was extra work from my lessons at the Bolshoi. I recorded all of these videos in their studios, and I prepared with one of my dearest teachers. She helped me prepare for these. I just recorded the videos and I sent them and just hope for the best. Also, I decided to do it the year before I graduated. It was because I thought, okay, if I don't have a chance this year, maybe I can try the next year. So that's also why I decided to do it a year before I graduated. They post the list of the participants online with the name, the country. At that time, they didn't say the school, just the name and the country and the age. And when I saw my name, I was like, oh my God! I could not believe it. Seriously, it was like a dream come true. In that moment, I thought, oh my God, where I'm gonna go? Like in that moment really hit me, and I realized I'm gonna be part of one of the best experiences of my life. So I really started working and preparing for it. Yes. Besides ballet work, I had to prepare documents, health documents, to prove that I was able to participate in a high-level competition, like I didn't have any injuries or heart diseases or any sort of health issues. So that's one of the parts of the competition, how to prepare. And then I had to learn my contemporary solo online. So they had coachings for the ballet solos, and I had to learn. They had the choreographer, in my case was Goyo Montero. He had a video coaching a dancer his variation, so I had to learn from that. And then my classical solo, I had a list and I just picked one. I chose the Aurora variation, and I worked on that variation since that day that I got the news. So this trip I would never forget. Okay, so I decided to go on this trip with my mom. Of course, I needed somebody to help me because I've never been to Switzerland before, so of course I needed some kind of help. So my mom decided to come with me. It was one of the most beautiful experience we had together because, as we called it, it was our adventure. The competition suggests you some hotels, and we picked one of them. So when my mom arrived to the hotel, it was such a big mix of feelings because we hadn't seen each other for a very long time. We're both so excited because my mom never came to a competition with me before, so of course she was a little bit, she didn't really know what to do or what to expect, so it was something very exciting for both of us. So the first day of the competition, we got there and they gave us these jackets, Prix de Lausanne from Chacot. We were already really excited, and that day we had a class. So the jury watches the ballet classes, the contemporary classes, the coaching classes. Yes, for them to learn more about you, how you work. They don't watch all of them, but mostly all of them. So I remember the first day, they told us they're gonna be there, they're going to see you, they're not gonna judge, this is just for you to get in touch with them a little bit and get used to it. For my mom, she was able to watch, so there was the ballet class, and then on top, they had a place where the parents could watch, parents or teachers. So they could watch from the top, most of the classes. So my mom was also very excited. She had a little tag that said visitor, so she could be with me. We just had the classes, we had the coachings, and then the selection day, and then we had the final day. That's how the competition works. One of the most challenging things was the style, because the teachers teaching the classes at the Prix de Lausanne, they had a French style. So for me it was a little bit different than the Russian style, because I came straight from the Bolshoi school to the competition. So I wasn't quite used to the fast movements, the different upper body movements and the style. So for me, maybe that was a little tricky. Then another hard thing for me was the same, the style, but this time with the variation, because I was coached with my Russian teacher, the variation. We've been working for so many days, so many hours working together, and I was already used to that style. And then I went to the Prix de Lausanne and I had a coaching with a prima ballerina from the Paris Opera. So of course she had a bit different taste, right? So as a participant, I thought, what counts more? Counts more how you show yourself on stage, the way you know? Or would they think, okay, she really tried to get the other style and she really worked hard to please the teacher or to get the new style? So I was thinking both, do my comfortable or do the one that they are suggesting me. So that's one of the hardest things of this competition, because as I said, it wasn't my style. So I was always thinking, what should I do? Should I be safe and do what I know? Or should I follow what they are telling me? Because maybe if I don't follow what they are telling me, they can take points out of my score. So that was something that it was always on my head. The other part of the coaching was the contemporary coaching, and the same thing happened here. I learned the video from the online video they sent me, but then I also practiced with my Russian coaches that contemporary variation. So when we went to the Lausanne, we had the chance, the good privilege to work with the choreographers, with Hugo Montero. And he was really, really particular with the style, with the movement quality he wanted. So of course it wasn't the same as I had and that I had practiced. So for me it was the same thing. Should I follow what he really wants? Because he's the choreographer. I should challenge myself and I should follow what he wants. Or I should do the safe version, maybe not so accurate, but I know I won't fail because I practice so much. So those two things were always in my head. What should I do? I, of course, decided to challenge. So I really tried to follow his musicality. I had the movement on one count, and then he said, no, I want this differently. So I had to change. So those were the challenging things for me. Mostly the style and the coaching. So beside the competition, like the classes we had, the coaching we had, we also had interviews with ballet dancers. And I think that was very inspiring. We had interviews with prima ballerinas of the Royal Ballet, and that was very inspiring to hear. I think the competition were like 5, 6, 7 days. And after those classes, we had the selection day, which is the day that you present your variation on stage with the costume. That's like really the deal. Like, will you be chosen for the final or not? Everyone performed their classical variations first, and then we performed our contemporaries. And I thought everything went really, really well. I felt comfortable with my variations, and I thought that I really gave everything that I had. I think it was the same day they gave us the results. And they had a screen projector and they had all the names. And sad part of this video, I wasn't chosen for the finals. I was very upset because as you had all the people around, so many people were really, really happy and really, really excited about going to the finals, and I was like, but I had my mom to support me, and she really helped me feel confident and feel proud of what I achieved. That's one of the good things about bringing my mom with me, because most of the participants, they had their coaches, even the school directors with them. So they also had that kind of support, like they could watch the classes and say, okay, you have to improve this, you have to pay attention to that, you know. They could get much more advice than I had but wouldn't replace my mom for anything, because at that time it's a very, very stressful competition. So I was really glad that I had my mom next to me, remind me to keep calm and supporting me with all her heart. I even remember when I told my school teacher of the Bolshoi Ballet Academy, when I told her that I was going to the Prix de Lausanne, she maybe didn't understand what I said. I didn't feel really that she was happy or she realized what I accomplished. So for me it was kind of like shocking, like they don't know. In Russia in that time it wasn't very popular to do ballet competition, so maybe I thought, oh, maybe they don't know, since it's a Europe competition, maybe they don't really know. But then when I got to the Lausanne and I saw all the teachers, all the directors supporting their participants, I felt a little upset about it. And then when I came back, it was like nothing happened. But I'm really glad that I tried it, and I'm really glad it happened. I'm really glad I had that experience. So after the selection day, the people who didn't go to the finals, we had a networking class. So we had a class, and many school directors watched our class. And then we got scholarships to train in other schools. I got many offers from schools, but as I said earlier, I only had one more year left to get the diploma of the Bolshoi Ballet Academy, so I chose to stay. Even though at that time I was very thinking why I didn't go to the finals, right? I was really thinking about that, and I thought that the contemporary from the Bolshoi Ballet Academy wasn't strong enough for that kind of competition. I thought the other participants were really, really strong at contemporary. So I thought maybe I should change schools. I was really seriously considering moving to another school to get better contemporary training. And this is something I really suggest to dancers, because we always think, okay, classical ballet is the only thing I should really focus on, which is true. But nowadays you also need contemporary. As for these competitions, as to find a job, you need both things. I think it was such an amazing experience. It's one of those things that you think, okay, I will never get the chance to try, I would never get the chance to experience. So many people don't even apply because they don't feel confident enough to even try. So my message to you is to give it a chance. You never know what can happen. You have to have a very good skill to participate at the Prix de Lausanne, but I wouldn't say don't try. I think you should try, especially if you are thinking of becoming a professional ballet dancer. I think it's one of the biggest competitions, as I said, not just to win an award. I think the meaning of this competition is not to win an award, which is also very important in order to get a job, to win something. But what I'm saying is that this competition is much more than that. This competition is great to meet new dancers, to learn from them. I had the Russian training only in my head, so when I went there and I had master classes from the French teachers, I got their style, their technique. I saw, okay, what are my weakest points? Because I saw other dancers and I realized, okay, my weak points are the contemporary. Really helped me grow as a person, as a dancer, a lot. Just the fact of going from Russia to Switzerland by myself and be able to pull all of the things together, it's really amazing how fast you grow, how that helps you to get the challenges that life will bring you in the future. So I really recommend it. And it's also a very good exposure. Before I did the competition, I was just a ballet student, right? But after I did the competition, I got so many comments of support, actually. Because one thing is what the jury decides, another thing is what you generate to the audience that watches you. Because we had video vlogs every day so that the audience could already watch. and get to know the participants. So I always got many comments of support, and they really were cheering me. As a student coming from Russia, which is a very big school, and I wasn't really feeling very confident, to get all this support and to get all this knowledge, it was really something very, very touching for me. So I would never forget that, and that gave me a push to believe in myself and say, okay, I was able to go to this competition, I was able to do all these things by myself, so I'm gonna really keep going. I remember after the competition, we had a meeting with the jury, and what the jury told me was that my arm things from the tutu were too big on me. That taught me, okay, you really have to be very thoughtful of your costumes because they can make you look really bad or really good on stage. So those things are also very important. And another jury told me, I went to the competition, and when I knew that he was going to be the jury, I was so crazy because I was a big fan of him, Ethan Stifel, principal of ADT. When he saw me and he oh my god, I'm gonna have tears now. So he told me, are you happy with the competition you did? And of course I felt not very confident, so I felt like I answered like not really, I think I could have done better. I wasn't very satisfied. So he told me, you should be proud. So those words of encouragement from this dancer really made me think, okay, I have to really go and push it. And he wasn't the only one. All the jury was so nice to me, and they were so inspiring, really. So this competition really was a big impact on my career, because I was in a point in the Bolshoi Ballet Academy where I wasn't very much appreciated because I was short and because there were obviously many better dancers than me. So I wasn't really confident about myself. And once I went to this competition and I got all this reaction from the jury, I was just so happy, and I was just so full of emotions, full of motivation. That's really important in this career. So for me, the biggest thing, it wasn't winning or not, it was all these things that I gained from this competition: the love from the jury, the love from the participants, the love from the audience, and that really gave me power to keep going. So I'm really thankful for this experience that I will never ever forget. If you are a young dancer trying to become a professional ballet dancer, as maybe you can find identified with me, so I really recommend, try it. You never lose. Maybe you try 1 year, it doesn't work, you go another year and it works. I know so many dancers that went to this competition twice. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that this video helped you understand more and know more about this very prestigious ballet competition. I hope this also helped you and gave you motivation, even if you're not ballet dancer. I think it's very important to challenge yourself and see where you're able to get, and also to know more about yourself. I think it's very important to challenge yourself. So thank you so much for watching Nerea San Channel. Please like and subscribe. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much for watching. Love. Bye bye.